Hello and welcome to another episode of Cascadia Mountain Weather. It's Thursday, December 19th. My name's Kyle McCrone. I'm here with Wyatt Mullen. And the snowpack just got a lot of water. So this is a photo from a different atmospheric river. But if you were to go out in the mountains right now, you'd probably see kind of similar rain runnels, a lot of features like that. So in the last week, some areas got anywhere from 2 to 3 inches in the lowlands, like Seattle, up towards 10 inches of water. In the Olympics, in the North Cascades, maybe close to 10, but yeah, maybe t more than 10 in the Olympics. So it's been quite wet over this last period. And in the mountains, that's fallen as a mixture of snow and rain. So we had freezing levels last weekend actually be decently low. We were getting snow down to 2K or lower in the Snoqualmie Pass area. And then we had a very strong storm impact the region on Tuesday that started out with snow at the passes and then jumped up to about 8,000 foot freezing levels. And temperatures are still elevated at the Baker ski area. You can see that 38 degrees at the base of Baker, and 9.4 inches of water in the last week. That is a lot. And probably about 60% of that fell as rain, actually. Yet still, the snowpack increased in depth significantly. So if we look now, the snow depth is 72 inches, but actually at the start of the week, it was down around 50 and actually dropped below that when they got rain Friday night. So despite the fact a lot of it didn't fall as snow, it's still like increasing the snow depth and definitely adding water to the snowpack. This has caused a lot of avalanches and a lot of, snow sliding over steep rocky areas. So here's a photo from the Baker ski area where you can see like glide cracks, and that's where like the entire snowpack is kind of creeping down a rock slab. So yes, we added snow overall, but in steep areas, it may have shed the snow. So definitely it's done a lot of damage to the snowpack in certain ways. We also had a lot of wind during this period. There were multiple periods of strong wind, and the highest winds actually were recorded out along the coast. Hoquiam got up to 80 miles per hour. And so we had wind both while it was cool and while it was hot. So it's impacted the snow a lot, definitely. And right now, our snowpack is, overall pretty close to normal. It just depends on the area. The lower elevations of the west side near Snoqualmie Pass, especially, are below normal, but it's not like they typically have a ton of snow at this time of year. The Central Cascades a little lower than normal, but areas such as the Southern Cascades and the Olympics are still quite a bit above average. The east side is doing okay. So, in most places it's better than last year with the exception of a few, but not like a banner year so far.
Yeah, okay. So let's look at like what's going to be coming up this weekend and kind of over the next week because we're still going to be kind of in a warmer than normal pattern. And we've seen a lot of rain, as Kyle mentioned already. We'll see some more rain and some kind of mixed weather. So I wanted to highlight this. This is basically showing the temperature anomaly at about 5,000 feet. This is 850 millibars. And the red, warmer temperature suggests warmer than normal. The bluer temperature suggests cooler than normal. And so this is as of kind of earlier today, looking at the forecast, you can see Washington down there. And as we move forward into Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, you can see that we have a lot of temperatures that are still remaining above normal at that kind of 5,000 foot level. We can even look at this a little bit better, looking at kind of the actual temperatures we would see at that 5,000 foot. So this is in degrees Celsius. And this blue line generally suggests where we would be getting decent snow levels down to about 3,500, 4,000 feet, maybe a little bit lower. So this is like we want this blue line over us to get good snow where like we like to ski, or where skiing is easily accessible. So you're not starting in the rain. And this is starting kind of earlier this morning at 4 a.m. today. And once again, as we move through, you can see some pulses of kind of warmer than normal temperatures. This is tomorrow morning, getting into kind of the 10 to like about 50-degree range, even at that elevation, at that 5,000-foot elevation. So pretty warm. Another big warm push Saturday morning. And then we cool down as we move into Saturday and into Sunday, where we see that kind of magical blue line start to appear. So that means that we might actually start seeing some snow down at the lower elevations. And then as we move further into the week, it's really not until kind of the Christmas time frame that we see a lot of that blue, where if we have precipitation with that, it would correspond with snow, kind of in that 3 to 4,000 foot range. I also wanted to just highlight the temperatures. So this is the surface level temperatures. This is in degrees Fahrenheit. Normally this time of year, we expect decently cold temperatures on the east side. But what happened this past week is, this is looking back in the week, you can see these kind of colder temperatures over the mountains and on the east side. As we moved forward, all of that cold air on the east side kind of got obliterated by these strong storms moving in with really warm temperatures. And so temperatures on the east side even got up to near record highs in the 50s, which really meant that like it will take a while to kind of reset that cold air, which means even on the east side, you might be running into rain instead of snow. We can look at our ensemble forecast for the snow level over the next 7 days. This is starting 4 a.m. Thursday, which is today, going to 4 a.m. Friday, 4 a.m. Saturday. And you'll notice that this is for the North Cascades, especially West Slopes, but we're still staying with a pretty high freezing level, up around 8,000 feet. Might be a little bit lower. And that continues into Saturday when we start dropping. So this is 4 a.m. Saturday, and we drop. We're not going to go very far down, but we might see snow level in kind of the 4,500 to 5,000 foot range on Saturday. Into Sunday, we'll see another brief spike, and then we'll drop down to maybe closer to 4,000 feet before kind of this roller coaster ride continues. It does look like in the days before Christmas, as we saw on that graphic a little bit before, we will see that lowering snow level, and we might be getting closer to that kind of 3 to 4,000 foot level. So that means that there would be decent snow at kind of our ski areas as well. If we look at the precipitation upcoming this weekend, so starting tonight, 4 p.m. Thursday, we had kind of a minor system move through earlier tonight, and then we'll see some, not really any big pushes of precipitation, but some showers moving through on Friday. And then Saturday, we'll also see that as well. This is when we first might see that snow level begin to drop a bit. Heaviest precipitation out towards the Olympics, kind of that standard shower movement. And then once again on Sunday, we also will see some precipitation moving through, although it might be lighter. In terms of snowfall, we can kind of see that even though there's precipitation falling during this time frame, snow levels are too high, so it's not really falling as snow. And then as we get into Saturday, we'll start to see those snow levels drop, a little bit of snow accumulate, and then they might rise up again and then drop down again for Sunday. So that like by early Monday morning, we might even see actually a decent amount of precipitation at the upper elevations, especially above kind of like 5 to 6,000 feet. Decent amount of snowfall, maybe even like 2 to 3 feet. That 4 to 5,000 foot range will be a little bit more uncertain, but you might get maybe a foot of snow, maybe even a little bit more. Not a ton of snow expected for areas below 4,000 feet, although we might get a little bit. And then I just wanted to highlight this, looking at like seeing if we'll see any sun breaks. And it looks like we might see some holes in the clouds as we move through the weekend. So this is kind of looking in the evening on Saturday. By no means is it going to be like cloudy the whole weekend. So that's just something to think about. So even if the snow isn't perfect out there, you might actually be able to get out and have a nice day anyways. And then just wanted to highlight the temperatures. This is about 5,000 feet near Snoqualmie Pass. Rain kind of in the early part of the weekend, transitioning more to the better chances for snow, especially Saturday. And like Sunday's probably the best day with the lowest snow levels. But even then, at 5,000 feet, it's still a little bit marginal. You can see that temperature is right about freezing, if not a touch above.
So if you've looked at the NWAC observations recently, what you'll notice is a lot of avalanches observed by the forecasters who've been going out after the storm. And so that's something to keep in mind is that, a lot of slopes that could slide did slide during this last avalanche cycle, especially areas beneath rocky cliffs and steeper sections. So, that one like skiing on a rained out snowpack is usually not great anyways, but especially if there's a lot of avi debris. That's something to keep in mind. Could make travel very difficult, and use it even as we start to get fresh snow that covers it up. Keep in mind there might be chunky bits of ice hidden in the snowpack, so it's going to take a while for that to all get covered. But hopefully we can get that snow. So currently the avalanche forecast is, moderate in most areas. And if we take a deeper look at, specific forecasts, this is the Baker area. They're highlighting a few different concerns. One is just because the rain is gone doesn't mean the glide avalanche danger is gone because the water is still kind of sifting through the snowpack. And so they're seeing, these glide avalanches still happen. And then there's also a chance that at the higher elevations we might see some storm slabs. So they're only really putting the storm slab at the upper elevations. So that's 5,500 feet to 7,500. So because we will be getting a decent amount of snow at the higher elevations this weekend. So the long-term outlook for Christmas and beyond is above average in our area, both in temperature and precipitation. However, don't, take this as like the worst news. Like we definitely are seeing downward trending temperatures from Christmas onwards. We're not expecting any like low snow levels, but we might get something respectable that could get snow at the passes. And this graphic also shows just, you know, kind of reinforcing that we're expecting heavy precipitation, continued stormy weather. There's not really a single bluebird day in the long-term forecast, but that's pretty typical this time of year. So thanks to everyone for watching. We hope you have a good weekend and a good holidays, and keep watching for next time.